Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview covering IEM Dallas 2024. For this occasion, I have here with me Twistzz of Team Liquid, who are coming off of a victory over Team Falcons to progress further in set competition. Twistzz, thank you so much for taking the time, like I said before. First off, covering that match, thoughts, feelings, coming out on top, how does that feel?
Of course, feels amazing. It was a pretty unlucky first map, but we could not get anything going for us, and we had the wrong reads the entire time. It was a much different feeling on Ancient and Anubis. Anubis was getting a bit out of control, but I felt like we locked in just at the right time. I felt like I was understanding their whole mid play on both sides of the map, and on both maps, Ancient and Anubis. I felt like I had their book read, and I was happy I was able to help my teammates make the right reads.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned a little bit about the maps. I want to go a little bit of a backtrack and cover map one. Quick over what went wrong, and then how do you guys then bounce back mental-wise or anything else of the fashion from map 1 to map 2?
Yeah, Nuke was a lot of losing duels, and that we're sleeping a bit. We were not moving the way that we would usually move on CD side, and if you're gonna have a 3-9 CD side, your T side better be like one of the best in the game, or else it's not gonna happen. And it's something that we have to work on. And everything after that was just about bouncing back, and I felt pretty confident on the next two maps, and especially something, I don't know, I just enjoyed starting T-side Ancient as well.
Yeah, I was about to ask about Ancient. You know, you definitely popped off 36 frags, quite a stellar performance on your own right. Just talk to me about going a little bit more in depth onto just what went right for you individually speaking.
It was just prep and knowing how the mid players are playing. In general, I just feel like without revealing too much, I knew a lot about how they're moving on the map. And yeah, that was kind of just it. Being able to make the right reads and right plays and make the right calls for my teammates. Yeah.
In an overall sense, what do you think set the difference between you guys and Falcons, just covering the entire series from your point of view?
Repeat the question, sorry.
In an overall sense, covering the entire series, what do you think set the difference, one thing, in your point of view, between your team and Falcons?
Probably adaptation is the word I would use. We adapted very well on Ancient and Anubis.
For sure. Sweet and concise, that's what I want to hear. Just covering again now on to just rebounding from that loss to 9Z. An upset, losing to a Latin American team, then becoming the first of its kind to reach playoffs in an IEM. How did the team bounce back? What was the conversation like, the comms, or anything else over like going from that to today?
Yeah, I mean, it was like yesterday against 9Z, like obviously they were very hungry. They don't have many events like this to go to, and when they do, they make the most out of it. And we were very tired, and this can never be used as an excuse, to be honest. We just didn't move. We didn't have the same feeling, the same passion that people usually play with individually. And I felt like that's what kind of tipped us over in a negative way. And a lot of frustrations yesterday in the match, and I had a migraine. I mean, it's no excuse. I brought a lot of energy, but I still made a lot of mistakes. And yeah, I mean, they were a team. They upset Mouse on Nuke, so we knew their Nuke was pretty good, and we know it's kind of like a home map for them, regardless of what the stats say. They could have like 45% win rate, and I would consider Nuke like their home map. So yeah, I mean, they played very well. They deserve to be in playoffs.
Yeah, for sure, and you know the same sort of commendation. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but still, just praise. Just going into just you guys for today, bouncing back and just progressing further. Now being one step away from getting into playoffs despite the loss. Now going into just the team's overall run in this tournament. Highs and lows, pros and cons. What have you seen from the team's form so far in this competition?
Our team?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, our team, things are a bit shaky, as always, but we're still trying to improve, like, every day, regardless of what's going on. And yeah, I mean, I would say one thing we do consistently well is the way that we prep and the way that we show each other our prep, and you know, people are working hard on the team. It's not like we're just, you know, coasting through and hoping that things go well. We are trying our best. And yeah, the goal is always playoffs, and I think that we're going to have a very tough game tomorrow, and we need to be ready for it. Regardless of who we play, I think it's between G2 and Mouse. And and take it from there. One series at a time from now on.
What do you think has been the one thing that the team adjusted from, before this competition to now, sort of observations from your point of view and just having to make these adaptations for this event and as it has been transpiring?
Just need to play with like 5% more belief, 5% more risk overall as a team. And 5% more energy as well. Like if we can just get those things together, I think we're on a good path and we can actually beat anyone at this event. It's more about doing it consistently because having one upset win every once in a while is not a nice feeling. You need to be able to bring the very best teams to exhaustion in a series, and yeah, that's still something that we're trying to find.
Yeah, I had a quick conversation with Zeus the day before, following that series against 9Z, and just ask him about the team's form, not just in this competition, but the entire year. And he mentioned the same thing as you did: consistency. Just trying to find a way to be consistent. Unfortunately, you guys have been inconsistent so far this season. How do you kind of look at the team trying to be consistent? What do you think has been the biggest problem in just having to be that consistent for this year?
Yeah, I mean, consistency comes down to multiple things in Counter-Strike, but the one thing that we lack is like kind of the way we move in game and the way we approach situations is very inconsistent, and it's more of an overall team overview that, in CS you need 5 players to be able to reading the game in some way, and then you have other voices who are going to make the final judgment or the right micromanagement. Yeah, I would say consistency is like how we approach situations in game. That's something that we need to work on by far.
Then, if I may ask, you guys have not been able to just be that 5-man collective unit, move one direction, by that metric that you've been saying, in terms of just trying to be consistent?
Repeat the first part?
Yeah. In terms of just what you said about the team not being in its form, and do you think that in that sense that the team has not been kind of playing collectively as a 5-man unit going one direction? You can understand.
I would say our teamwork was always something that's lacking, and you see it you see it the most on Nuke. And Nuke is a very team-based map, and you need to seesaw the map in a way where there's right pressure delegated in the right areas, and people are getting the right information out of this pressure. And it's a very hard map for us to figure out. And it could be on me. It could take me to kind of take a step back and have a more micromanagement kind of position. But yeah, obviously we're gonna take a look, especially after this game, what's going on with our Nuke and figure it out. And also like our consistency. I mean, it does come from our map pool as well. Like I feel like our map pool on paper is looking good, but obviously it's kind of flawed with the teams that we've played in the past few months. Not all the teams are as good as each other. So, but yeah, Nuke, we need to get better on Nuke, so it's a key part of our map pool, and we don't have to worry about it.
Just a combination of many things, right? In a sense, that's how it is. That's kind of affecting this team.
Overall? Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of outside noise. We're just doing our best to ignore that and keep things going. It doesn't matter what news is out there, really. We need to play our game, and when it comes to match time, we need to show up as 5 and believe that we can win the event, as always. Even if it may seem unlikely probability, we need to have that belief. And yeah, it's just about channeling that confidence.
Hopefully you guys are able to keep that run going. Twistzz, thank you so much for taking the time, and I'm going to wrap up the interview right here.